So I wanted to bring in Salim. I've known him for a while now through social media, and he's our first guest on our first podcast in-house. So thank you for coming in,
It's
Salim.
first podcast in house.
You were the first one to come onto the table.
Oh,
So
nice.
welcome.
I'm honored.
Welcome, Habibi.
Let's do the opening ceremony.
Salim, could you tell us a little bit about yourself? What you are, who you are, what you do, and so on.
Okay, to make it short, my name is Salim, and I've been in real estate, in Dubai real estate business for 11 years, and I've been coming to Dubai. The first time I came to Dubai, it was actually at the age of 9, when there was the first airline open between my home country, Tajikistan, and Sharjah. So that's where my parents saw the opportunity of buying goods and selling in Tajikistan. So I came with them first time, even though Dubai did not exist as a city. You can say there was only Deira and Dubai, but I felt already the connection from there. So I'm known actually in the industry as a multilingual broker. I speak 6 languages, and also some people know me as the specialist for Palm Jumeirah villas. So I deal a lot in Palm Jumeirah and the villa community. So to answer your questions, which languages I speak, English obviously is not my native language. I speak English. I speak Russian. It's not my native language. Then it's Tajik language. It's Farsi. Then I speak Spanish. And the 6th one, if you call it a language, it's a dialect in my hometown, which is completely different.
That is
Pamir
really, really cool.
dialect. Yeah. That helped me a lot. You see, the reason behind that I speak, I'm sorry, I forgot about Turkish language. I speak Turkish language.
Okay.
How it's all started, because I studied in Turkish school where I learned Turkish language. Then after school graduation, I studied in Russia, in Moscow, and I was studying foreign languages. So it's my specialty, foreign languages. So as a university student, I had to pick up 2 languages, which I picked up English, and my second language was Spanish. So then I was learning both the languages. So based on my degree, I'm actually qualified to be a teacher for English and Spanish, or a translator or interpreter.
Amazing.
So that indeed actually helped me a lot in the business, because obviously we live in a city where over 200 different nationalities, and it's actually quite good for them and for you to realize that you can communicate and speak with people who try to find houses, and you help them in their own language, not being in their hometown.
True.
So that effectively helps very well in the business itself. And also, I'll help the other brokers who struggled with language barriers with their clients. So I got involved as a translator or as an interpreter. That obviously gave its own bonuses.
That's amazing, man. That's awesome to know. 6 languages is a lot of languages.
But let me tell you something about the foreign languages. It's really important. It's actually easy to learn, but it's not easy to maintain and keep it up, because it's like working out.
It's like practicing daily.
Of course, you have to practice it daily. You really have to keep it up. Like if you speak, I don't know, Arabic, you just speak with the native, the guy who speaks the native language, his mother language, speak with him. Speak and practice it. Like struggle, think of that word which you remember. So you have to keep on doing it that way. You have to maintain it. Otherwise, you keep on forgetting it.
What is it that, what does it take to become a good, successful realtor or broker or an agent, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I think it's really important, as much as people like it or don't like it, because I'm running my team and I tell my team members. So now it comes down to who is the person and whom I'm giving this advice to. Because obviously the same advice cannot apply to every single individual that working for you, or you are guiding them, or you're trying to teach them. There are people who are fast learners. They learn very fast. Now, when I started real estate, I wasn't fast learner. I was actually damn slow learner. So it took me slow and small steps to get to where I am today. And I think that I have got room to grow as well in future. As an individual, we all grow. We live, we grow,
We learn something every day.
Yes, of course, absolutely. We learn something every day. In fact, later on, I'll give you an example what I learned recently with all my experience. You could think it's something basic, but in reality, it turned out very big. So if you are a person who is new to the business, new to real estate, you don't know anything about this business, and you are probably new to the city as well, which actually quite common, then I have to say two things. One, pick up a location. You have to focus, learn, be specialist of one single location. Second advice, start from rentals. Start
Yes.
doing rentals. You have to at least dedicate the first year of your career doing rentals, because that's the organic way how you can build your clientele. That's the organic way how you can create future business for yourself. That's the organic way how you create pipelines and improve your business and get it to the next level.
Because eventually the tenants will one day become landlords.
Of course, or they become the sellers.
And they will also become investors.
Right.
Right? And this is what a lot of people in the industry disagree with me on. I'm talking about the big guys.
Have you done rentals?
2009, 8, 9, 10, 11 was only rentals
So
for
you've
me.
done rentals. Which were you specifically working in one community, or you were like
No.
doing multiple areas?
So I tried to specialize. I tried my luck with Marina GLT, but I know those areas were really, really overwhelmed by the number of brokers in there, because all the buildings are close by. You could get details easily. And then I decided to change my focus a little bit. So I moved out of Marina and I tried to capture the opposite side, which is JLT,
Yeah.
TCOM, which is now Barsha Heights,
Yeah.
and Al Barsha.
Okay.
Now, the reason why I took up Barsha and Barsha Heights is because not too many agents in those areas, as they're non-freehold.
It wasn't saturated by
Correct.
real estate
And it was
agents.
non-freehold. So a lot of landlords own buildings.
Yeah.
Right? So what I did was I went in there, I showed them my track record, I showed them what all I did. And what I'd do is I'd manage to convince them somehow, a few of them,
Yeah.
to remove their numbers from the buildings
Okay.
so that the tenants don't go in directly.
Yeah.
I would source the clients for them, I'd do the viewings, and I'd rent out. And this way, I actually managed to rent out, I think, about 9 or 10 buildings in Barsha and Barsha Heights from the landlords, because I made a good
Fantastic.
relation with the representative who sat on the top floor in one corner. Convinced them to do that, showed them one by one that I can rent these out really quickly. And I think I was lucky to do that because I got on to Dubizzle
Okay.
very early stages when nobody was on Dubizzle.
Yes, because before that there was a newspaper ads. People used to call from newspaper ads or
Correct.
word of mouth.
Correct. And that
Yes.
time Dubizzle was picking up like crazy,
Yes.
especially for rentals. So I started doing that. I started renting out entire buildings, and that's where my entire focus was. And today when I talk to some big industry agents, like top level, big company, big name, everything, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I've said this even in other podcasts before.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, no, rentals is very, very important. But they say, oh, it's okay. The guy can come and make a couple of sales now, and then he can handle the rentals when it comes to it.
Yeah.
I say, yeah, that's a way to look at it, because you can cash out today, you can make some more money. But unless and until you don't have a pipeline from the rental clientele,
Yeah. Fire right now, it's very busy. And you tell the person, I think you should do rentals. He'd be like, are you crazy?
Are you out of
Me
your
in rentals right
mind?
now? It's such a busy market. It's hard to convince. So you need
It
to
is.
really actually convey this message to the person that, listen, you don't understand the value of rental. First of all, the vast experience that you can get from rentals, and then the pipelines, what you create. I'll give you a simple example. One of my biggest clients, which I'm dealing till date, I met them because of the 1 or 2 rentals I've done with them for their properties or rented out to them. So that till day, they're one of my biggest investors. So because that was actually the key that we opened our relationship in future. Because I was a guy, I was working in Dubai Marina. As an example, I was the simple rental broker who was just focused on closing rentals and making money for living. And one day I've rented a property in Marina Promenade, so the Paloma Tower. And the property owner was listing it, and back then, there was no limit like how many brokers can list. Even simply that Dubizzle, 20 brokers can list one property, right? And each broker can put like 5-6 advertisements for the same property.
True.
So there wasn't any strict control over it. And I had like a big competition on renting that apartment, and I was lucky enough to get the highest offer. And the owner told me that come over to my place to sign the contract. So I came over to his place to sign the contract. And then I told this guy that, listen, if you do have any other properties, give me the opportunity. I would love to work on. He said that, listen, I mean, probably the other properties what I have, they are not of your caliber. I said, what do you mean? He said, these are the Palm Villas. I mean, you're dealing in Marina apartments, so you gotta focus there. For the Palm Villas, I've got my basically other brokers working. I asked him just one small opportunity. Just give me that opportunity. Let me prove that I can be. And I asked him that, listen, anything to do with your property, let me handle it. Whatever you need, like whether it's just doing your contract, like arranging your maintenance and doing your painting, anything. Just but let me handle your properties. And I'm not asking you just, be bound with me, but give me that opportunity so I prove myself. And that guy is the owner of 15 villas on the Palm.
Amazing.
Which till day, we've flipped some of them, we've rented some of them, till day we are renting and managing some of them. So that guy, he obviously, how the brokers call the owner. There's so many. Now on the new database, my number is registered as a property owner for those villas, so they don't want to be bothered. On the old databases, if someone calls them, so they just refer. So, but what was the reason behind all of that? I mean, you can imagine now dealing on the Palm with selling and buying and renting. Obviously, it's totally different, commission, right? Let's put it that way, financially. So that was only because of that small rental entry.
100%. A lot of people disagree with me on the same point, and I say, no, rentals is the first key to open the door.
Yeah.
And you yourself are an example of what is possible from rentals.
Absolutely.
And like you said, any new joiner, you tell them to do rentals, like, who's going to do rentals? I want to focus on selling off plan.
By the way, speaking about the new joiners, there is one thing I've noticed. So there's some guys, they actually join, they start real estate. And all they expect is the company giving them the leads, and that's it. The moment you stop giving lead, company is bad.
Company is shit.
What do you think about this? Now, you tell me and I tell you my point of view as well.
Regarding the company stop giving leads and all of that, I can understand from a company's perspective. The costs are not cheap. Today I run my show myself.
Yeah.
And I know lead generation is heavy cost. And I do that every month for my team as well. But
and the ratio is very low as well, and it's getting lower daily.
Of course, because every single client who puts in an inquiry has not just put the inquiry on one campaign.
Yeah.
Maybe the same property was marketed 5 different ways by 5 different agencies, or the same way from 5 different agencies.
Yeah.
And the person who's put in the inquiry has put it on every single advert that showed up in his Instagram or his Facebook or his TikTok. So then it's a matter of nurturing the client. It's a matter of nurturing the deal. It's a matter of how you talk to your client. I have been talking to a gentleman recently. I've been speaking to him for over a year now.
Yeah.
He's based out of Oman. His budget is not that great. He wanted to spend about $1 million dirhams.
Mm-hmm.
And we had been speaking for over a year.
Yeah.
Continuous chit-chat every now and then. And then recently he messages me. He's like, hey, buddy, I am in town. I want to buy the property now. And I actually asked them, I'm like, you haven't bought anything yet?
Mm.
And they say, no, Z, we've been waiting for you. We want to do it with you. We don't want to just do it with anyone else. I said, okay, fine. You know what? Let's do it. But I am occupied. You gave me last minute notice. I'm going to pass you on to my right hand, who is the girl who works on my team. She take care of everything for you.
Okay.
She met her met him the same day, and they just bought a property. So it's a matter of how you take care of your clients. It's nurturing them no matter how long they take. You have to let them be comfortable. You can't just pressurize people into getting into deal. But regarding the whole leads of shit, this and that, I know that. And I have told the companies I worked with in the past, I've worked for some big names, I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
And there have been times that I have told them, stop sending me leads.
Yeah.
I don't want them anymore. I bring my business through my social media and my networking. My networking is the most important thing for me.
Yeah.
That is why I'm always out and about. You never see me at home. Leads is something, okay, you get it, that's great. Yalla, work on it, see where it goes. But most of the agents don't even spend more than 2 months on a lead.
I think I'll tell you the worst thing I've seen from people giving it 2 or 3 try. That's
Yep.
it.
Yep.
And that's it. They're giving up on that lead. I simply believe that every single individual you are surrounded with can be your potential lead, if not
sure.
directly but indirectly.
For sure.
You never know. You never know that any doorman can be, any receptionist can be your lead.
For sure.
Or it can be the reason for the lead or for your closing.
Yes. The lead doesn't necessarily have to be a lead.
So yeah, if you are working for a company, first of all, if your objective is that I'll join this company and what all this company will do for me is just supply me with leads and I'll call 2-3 times, if they answer, no answer, and then I close, that you shouldn't be getting to real estate.
That's not the way to work.
Just don't join real estate. It's not
Don't
for
join
you.
real
It's not for your business.
For sure.
Company is supposed to provide platform for the broker, create the space. Company should have the name where you have the access to the big developers, right? And company needs to give you that management support and the guidance, and additionally, obviously, the tools for the marketing
And assistance for whenever you need it.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
That is why people join names, people join people who they know and they trust, and they see that these guys have a track record of always being on the field.
Yeah.
Many companies I left back in the day because there wasn't support on the field. If I have to go and stand in queue and my company owner is there, but even he has to stand in queue, then there's no difference.
That's exactly why the first thing which I hear from the potential candidates, that how many leads you will be giving me or how many leads I'll be receiving from you. That's it. That interview is over for me. Like I close that chapter.
Yeah.
But if the person comes to me and says that, hey, I really like that location, so I'm planning to do this, that. So how can you additionally support me in order to get and to become the best in that community? Then I'll say that, that's the right guy.
True.
So,
You mentioned earlier when we were having chit chat that a lot of people message you asking you to hook you up with a job, or you have any positions in your company, and so on and so forth, just through Instagram, I'm sure.
yes.
Throw some light on that.
Wow. There is one interesting part that actually one of the other reasons that I'm actually working on my social media right now, and I'm trying to concentrate a lot more. There was one guy who came for an interview, and he's 19 years old, which I've actually hired him right now. And I told him that, what brought you to real estate? You are so young. You're just 19 years old, and you probably did, just got graduated or not even graduated.
Did he even make it to college?
No. So he's coming from a village in Tajikistan. So you can imagine, not even from a city, from a capital, but from a village, and he speaks decent English as well. And he's very young. He said, look, when you inspired me a lot. When I was in Tajikistan, I was looking at your content, at your videos, at, and what you post and your achievements. And I got so inspired that I said that, I don't want any university. I don't want to do anything what my parents are telling, because my parents are telling me, basically go to college or start working somewhere. He's not from a
Get a
rich
job.
family,
Yeah.
So he said that that's it. That's all I want. I said that I want to come to Dubai and I want to find you and I want to do real estate. So
It's interesting.
obviously I couldn't say no, and then I gave the guy the opportunity, and he is still there actually doing his best and working hard and listening, and he's hungry for every single advice that I'm giving him right now. So yeah, definitely a lot of people send messages through social media that I want a job. So I would, the way I look at it, it's simple, that we all at one point in time, I think we wanted we didn't know what we want, right? And we wanted to work here or there, because the grass is obviously green from the other side when you see it.
Always.
It's always like from what probably the person, if they look at my social media, and to be honest, come on, how many of us we post our failures on Instagram? How many of us show that how many deals are fallen through, and the whole process of going through that, right? And what they see is just the final part and final cut, but what's the amount of blood we lost while doing that.
Blood, sweat, and time.
Yeah, tell me. So, and then they see that it's that easy. So I do reply to some people where actually their messages, I see it makes sense to me, that the guy saying that, hey, Salim, I've been working actually in China as a real estate broker. I speak Chinese, I speak Mandarin, I speak English, and I speak Russian. But I'm planning actually to expand my knowledge. I want to come to Dubai and work in Dubai real estate. Do you have any advice for me, or if you have any, room in your organization to hire me? These kind of candidates that I look forward to, for sure. But someone fresh, new, I tell them just do a little bit more studies, homework, and understand whether you're
really fit for the position.
Really fit for this position. Yeah. So that is true. For that reason, I simply ignore the messages that hi, I want a job, or hi, do you have a job? That's it. I mean, so I don't waste further time. Like the previous example I've given, like the guy already actually knows what it is. He did probably some homework about this field, or has been working already in his hometown or somewhere else, in Dubai, in different
to understand,
company,
yeah.
But he didn't have the opportunity to grow. Now he's looking for something, better and some different improvement. So those kind of, messages that I find them correct and direct and responsive as well.
Yeah, sometimes I get 2-page long messages as to why I should hire them because they are hungry and so on and so forth.
Do you look at the CVs, people's CV?
No. So I put out a video very recently, I think about 4 or 5 days ago. I want to keep my team small. So I have a setup for about 6 to 7 people that I want to accommodate in the first year.
Right.
And I know the second I put it out, you can send me your CV, I'll get bombarded. Like my phone already freezes. So what I did was I made it a little different. I said, okay, you know what? If you want me to invite you for an interview, send me a 1-minute video of yourself. You don't have to be dressed up. You don't have to be looking good. It doesn't have to be a studio.
Yeah.
Just send me a 1-minute video that I know who you are first, because you can write whatever you want on a CV.
That's a smart approach, by the way. Yeah.
Yes. So I tried that. And I put it out there, and a lot of people are like, why should I send you a video and this and that? Obviously, I gave them my reasons and I stick by it. And I had friends message me as well who are from the industry, and they said, listen, Z, you're hiring, I want to join you. I said, okay, do me a favor. Here's the link. Follow the instructions, and you're welcome to come and sit with me. I'm not somebody big or somebody special, but I did it because I wanted to see, is that person even willing to put in that 1 minute worth of effort to do something different? Because I work differently. I bring my clients to me differently. I don't sit and call. And I do that through social media. I wanted to just see that, are they okay with just putting the phone like this, telling me who they are, what they do, and why I should call them in for a small interview for even 10 minutes.
What are the main USP that you look at the person? Like, what is that? Is that the look? Is that the way he talks or dresses? Like, what is the one thing that you look at?
Okay, looks and the way he dresses. You see how I dress, right?
Nice.
And this is me every day. Okay, I go to meet clients. I go to meet ultra high net worth individuals. I am in my jeans and a shirt or a casual t-shirt or whatever. For me, that doesn't matter. For me, at the end of the day, what matters is the person presentable? Do they know how to talk? When they talk, are they talking straight, interesting stuff, or are they talking nonsense? And are they game to get onto social media to grow their reach? I'm trying to make a team that can be as strong and as popular on social media like myself. I like to believe so.
To be honest, first thing I look at when I'm hiring a broker in my team, I look at personality. And I try to see the personality of the person that matches what I'm looking for or not. Because I had a broker who was like a very good broker. He was billing a good amount of money every month. But just because his personality was good, we had to split apart, right? I give you a very simple example, like when I was back in 2012, so the rents in Dubai have gone up, and then I was looking for a place for myself in Sharjah. And I was obviously opening Dubizzle and just calling the brokers there, and especially that market was new to me. There was one particular building I liked very much, and there is one particular apartment I really liked because it was big, it was with a beautiful sea view and everything, so it met all my expectation, and most importantly, good price. But because of the fact the broker was so rude, and he was very aggressive by the talking, and not friendly at all, I did not take. I mean, maybe it was wrong putting my ego first and then my priority second, but I did not feel working with that person. So that's where I realized that actually the personality is really important. Some people
Very
actually,
important.
when a person meets you, first of all, he is not going to see what you're going to offer him. He is going to see who you are. Because it's really important to understand that real estate is about emotions. Some people are saving up whole their life, years, decades, and then they decide to buy a property, and you are the person they meet, and the impression they create with you probably going to affect the decision that they're going to make.
And you spoil their experience, yeah.
And you spoil that experience for them. You can make it nightmare for them, or you can make it so smooth, becomes the best friends with them, become family friends with them. That's where actually you get to enjoy your business as well. Because this business is not only about closing deals, making commission, making money. It offers a lot more.
And it's people buying from people.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Without people, you're not making any sales.
Absolutely.
How are potential buyers in the off-plan industry supposed to differentiate between experienced and non-experienced agents? Or let's put it as experienced and new agents, the influx we've seen over the past couple of months.
It's actually very easy given the technology and the platforms which Dubai real estate has actually created for the investors. Number one, simply you can Google the person. You can get all the information about the broker who you're dealing with. Because you've got, for example, a feature in Beirut, which is called Beirut reviews about the broker. You can read the reviews, right? Google reviews, and as well as you can check the property finder profile, right? That the guy, how many listings he has, how many properties he has, and his selling records. Secondly, you've got the Dubai REST application, which actually shows that the guy is qualified, the guy is certified to be a broker in Dubai, and since how long. So that's the whole database of the person is available, as well as his rankings in Dubai real estate market, which is actually very important to understand that. It takes a lot to have like 4-star gold rankings. Now they recently introduced the 5-star as well, so which gives a great competition. And to answer the question, yes, it's important also for the buyer to understand that they are dealing with the right and experienced person who, because can take them to the right investment. I'll tell you. If you notice, the number of real estate brokers in the last couple of years has drastically increased. Like probably any single person I know, they got into real estate. When I've started myself in 2012, when you started in 2008, you started before.
A little before that, yeah.
A little before that, yeah. So now I see like the number. Okay, let's talk about the numbers. In 2017, there were about 15,000 registered brokers in Dubai.
Wow, okay.
Now, what do you think the number is today?
More than double, for sure.
It's 48,000 registered brokers. So there are a lot of brokers in Dubai right now. So it's the same piece of cake. So the competition gets bigger, right? So what it says, a lot of brokers getting into real estate, they say shits just to sell.
I know.
Just to sell. Like, she's like, oh, 100% ROI in just 2 months' time.
Take my money.
Yeah, man, dude, like, what are you talking about? 100% ROI. There's some, like, pushing towards different projects and communities giving X amount of promises, guaranteed incomes. I'm like, poor clients, because I came across the client who actually made, let's say, wrong purchase, not because he was looking to invest, flip, make money. And he's like, I got trapped with this number of brokers who actually promised me that I can make 30% in 2 months. I'm like, they promised you, they said they guaranteed to me. They've given me a letter as well. And I saw that letter. That was really funny.
That letter is as good as toilet paper. Let's be real.
That letter is good for nothing, honestly. But it's the message I want to convey. And by the way, let me tell you, there are some brokers who are new to the market and who are actually really nice. They're very intelligent. They're fast learners, and they know what they're doing. And in fact, there are certain things that we as old brokers can learn from them, from the new brokers.
Yes.
There are certain things which I've learned from them. The experienced person has more higher probability of giving you the right due diligence. Now it's really important, right? That when you're buying, when you're selling, you do the right due diligence. So you can simply, with the help of internet, just getting in 2-3 platforms, you can check if you are dealing with the experienced person, the market, because obviously the experienced person will have more knowledge of the market. He has seen the ups and downs of the market. He has seen when the market was not doing great, the market was correcting, and that the correction was there for quite a while, right?
It was a long correction.
Before it started picking up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of brokers now, they see just the high market and the impression what they have that it continues the same, it remains the same. Come on, we all know we are in real estate. It's not going to remain the same. Yeah, there is a time the market is going to correct, and there is a time the market will pick up again. So
for sure,
find the right broker, the experienced one.
Yeah. And I know what you rightfully said. I met a very, very big family from one of the Asian countries, generational wealth from father to grandfather and so on and so forth. The father and the daughter were in town. It's very simple, down-to-earth people, very humble. We met in a random restaurant somewhere in Dera. We were chit-chatting. And they told me about this one project in Marina where the developer's representative comes in a nice car, they pick them up, they provide tickets to their hotel, etc., etc. Now, you and I already know that the price that they paid for their property already is including their stays and their ticket and their leisure transport around and
Absolutely,
so on and so forth. And they promised them fractional ownership and they promised them guaranteed returns. And then I said, okay, fine, this is something I do not do. Like, this development is something I do not touch personally because I know all this. They paid over $4 million for a fraction of a studio.
I think I know what
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
talking about.
$4 million for a fraction of a studio, which is 400 square foot.
Yeah.
And I was like, buddy, this is why you're getting all of this shit that they offered you.
Yeah.
And then when he heard the whole concept, and he's like, man, the same thing your investor said, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
How can you help me? I said, but there's no helping you out on this one, man. You're stuck.
Yeah.
That is not flipping.
Yeah.
Because the broker that he was involved with, who took him there, promised him the world.
And to be honest, it's if you notice the way it's all like getting presented to them, and it's usually the new people who just came to Dubai.
New investor, yeah.
New investor probably went to a shopping mall, and
from the kiosks.
From the kiosk, saw a couple of nice developments, and without getting into details, because the way it's all showcased, it was also nice, and got into these developments without realizing how it's actually going to work out.
Yeah.
So it's always actually good to be friends with the person who is giving you the service, right? Whether it's your broker, it's your banker, it's your barber, because we are in the service industry.
True.
And we sell services to people, right? So to me, my main objective is when I'm dealing with a client and the client is asking me a simple question, right? So if it's the right thing for me to buy or not. So to me, I earned, my status where I am today. So to say no, it's not the right time.
Exactly. And it's not the right product.
Or it's not the right product.
Correct.
Whether it's the where the new opportunities are coming up. Wait for the new opportunities or new developments.
Yeah. I say that to a lot of people many times.
Yeah.
And they get surprised. They're like, oh, really? You're like the first guy who's
Saying no.
said no for the past 3 options that I sent to you, which other brokers have already sent to me. I said, yeah, because I want you to buy continuously. I don't want you to just buy one. And I know you can. I can understand when I sit across the table with you that you got deep pockets. You want to buy real estate. That is the way for the future, and that's the way to go. Thank you very much for coming in, Salim. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
I
It was
appreciate
really good.
we had some good talk, and I
Yeah.
think I'm going to have you come in one more time on another date.
I think we can actually, with these kind of meetings, bring more value to people.
We need to bring more value to people.
Right value, positive value.
And I think towards the end where we went no filter, we're going to continue that in the next segment.
Yeah. Deal.
Awesome. I
Okay.
appreciate
Thank
you
you,
having
bro.
me. Thank you so much.